Good evening. This is a special coverage of the coronavirus crisis using the combined forces of News 5 and Signal TV's One News, Radyo 5 and 1PH. We have some breaking news. DILG Secretary Ed Año has tested positive for COVID-19. This was confirmed to News 5 by Secretary Año himself, adding that he only received the confirmation from RITM today. He has been under self-quarantine since March 26 after learning that 4 persons he had interacted with tested positive for COVID-19. Año is calling the attention of persons he had close contact with and asks them to go on self-quarantine and observe any symptoms. Pinag-aaralan naman ng gobyerno ang pagpapatupad ng massive mandatory quarantine para sa daang-daang persons under investigation at persons under monitoring. Kaugnay niyan, makakausap natin sa linya ng telepono ang Chief Implementer ng National Action Plan laban sa COVID-19, si Retired General Carlito Galvez. General, good evening. Nice to have you here with us.
Good evening po at magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat.
Okay. General, yung ganitong proposal puts into question yung current quarantine measures na meron tayo.
Yes.
So, matanong ko lang ano ho ba yung assessment ninyo doon sa current quarantine measures na meron tayo for PUIs and PUMs? Bakit ho tayo kailangan humantong sa isang massive enforced quarantine?
Napag-usapan po namin talaga na talagang mas maganda po talaga yung tinatawag na observe post-quarantine kasi kung titingnan natin yung mga experience sa China, nagkaroon ng tinatawag na massive build-up ng hospital. Ang ginawa nila, nagpatayo sila ng bagong hospital that can accommodate thousands of people. And then meron din tayo sa France na talagang kinonvert nila yung mga gymnasium at saka yung mga conventional center para doon po ilagay talaga yung magkakaroon ng tinatawag nating forced quarantine. And we are looking na ganito po ang gawin natin kasi ang pinaka natin po sa ating in order to really to respond on this COVID-19 is to contain, isolate, and eliminate yung threat ng COVID-19. And we can only isolate if we will isolate potential carriers like the PUMs and the PUIs.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least assessment po ninyo, sir, dun sa current measures, ibig sabihin ho ba medyo may pagkukulang or hindi pa sapat in order for us to at least curb the possible spread of the virus?
Nakita natin yung na-reading natin na nagdo-double up yung ating figures after 2 days or 3 days is because nagkaroon na tayo ng accelerated testing. Medyo tumaas na yung capacity ng RITM with the accreditation. So marami na yung nakita ng nagpa-positive because of many testing that we are undergoing. Another sign most probably kung titingnan natin yun, i-analyze natin yung sudden increase, it may be yung nakita natin in reality, yung mga poor people na nandun sa kanilang mga bahay, they cannot have yung talagang actual distancing kasi for example, kung 25 square meters sa bahay, 10 kayo, nahihirapan po talaga magkaroon ng social distancing. So ang pinakamagandang strategy talaga, kung sino man yung potential historical na na pwedeng magpalaganap ng virus, kailangan na po nating i-isolate para at least we can do effective tracking and tracing of potential carriers. Kasi kung sama-sama, then nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag nating home quarantine, yung mga PUIs at PUMs na yung PUMs na nandun nag-home quarantine, which is possible carrier, hindi natin nakikita, hindi natin na-supervise, and they sometimes way of life na talagang magkakalapit sila. Nakakahawahan ng isang pamilya. I have a call sa Quezon City na isang pamilya talaga nagkahawahan, isa na lang bata ang hindi nakahawa. So yun ang nakita ko na possibility na even though magkaroon tayo ng lockdown, magkaroon tayo ng tinatawag na home quarantine, kung nandun ang potential carrier, magkakahawahan yun sa mga congested areas, mga dense populated areas, yung madaling magkakahawahan.
Mm-hmm. Sir, General, what makes all the difference dito sa proposal is actually the use of the words massive and forced. So, nuances a bit, paano ba ito? Ano ibig sabihin nito? Paano nyo ipatutupad? Matik ho ba na kapag PUM ka or PUI ka, you will be quarantined in facilities outside your home?
Dapat po matest na kagad. So, kaya ngayon dumadami ng ating testing kits. Kaya that's why we are trying to propose na gamitin na yung rapid testing kits and also some testing technology so that immediately para magkaroon tayo ng mass testing. Kasi sa natin sa Asian, most of our Asian countries, more than 30,000 na yung tinetest nila. Tayo, more or less, mga 2,000 pa lang. So, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, they had a lot of testings that they have done. Sa Ebola, yun ang number 3, nila na parang pinaka procedures na test. Meaning, you have to have a massive testing so that you can immediately isolate yung carrier at saka yung virus.
Okay, so sir, you're proposing basically also massive testing.
Yes, yung massive testing sa especially yung PUI at PUM. Kailangan yung mga PUM ma-determine kaagad natin kasi dalawang magiging effect ng strategy na yun eh. Kung na-detect mo kaagad ang na COVID victim siya, makapag-intervene ka, magkaroon tayong kaagad ng medical healthcare intervention. O yung tamang para at least hindi na siya lumala. At the same time, mahiwalay mo na siya na hindi na siya makahawa.
Okay.
So, kaya ngayon po, kung ginagawa na po, tinatransform na natin po yung World Trade Center at saka yung Rizal Memorial Coliseum, yung CCP at saka PICC. Ito po ay pinakonvert na po namin ngayon, ongoing na po yung conversion nito into a quarantine area.
Okay. So, part na ho ito, sir, noong proposal ninyo for a massive quarantine. Kasama na dyan yung plano. Halimbawa, they're calling on the LGUs to identify areas within their cities as quarantine facilities. You also have the DOT trying to come up with a list of hotels as possible quarantine facilities. Even yung maritime vessels natin will be considered as quarantine areas. So,
Yes.
part na ho ito ng proposal ninyo for a massive quarantine.
Yes, yun po ang natin na magkakaroon po kami bukas. I-present na namin po yung aming synchronization matrix. Yung synchronization matrix, yung day by day namin na gagawin ng mga different task group, including na to yung tinatawag nating preparation natin sa tinatawag nating massive selective testing for the PUIs and the PUMs.
Okay, last question, General. Will the enhanced community quarantine be extended considering these developments, or are you also as optimistic as the DILG who previously said na mukhang matatapos na to by the original period na sinet natin?
Nung na-discuss namin sa IATF, the technical working group under Secretary Peña will determine yung course of actions natin. What will be the implications if we will lift the quarantine. Ano yung mga tinatawag nating indicators or decision point on how we will react after April 14. Marami po tayong options na pwedeng gawin. One is pwede nating i-extend ng another 14 days kasi yung nga sinasabi natin na meron danger for the desire for immediate normalcy kasi may mga ganun na countries na gusto nilang maging normal kaagad, bumalik ulit sila sa dati and then they go back, and that is the disastrous decision. Second is pwede rin naman na magkaroon tayong tinatawag na selective quarantine, yung mga identified na may mga clusters na barangay at saka yung iba naman may mga barangays na at saka mga municipalities na hindi affected, pwede na pong i-lift yung po niya sa solo. Ang gagawin po natin, for example, ang Manila, ang gawin lang natin ng quarantine area, yun ang natin, and then yung iba sa Luzon na hindi naman affected, pwede na natin i-lift yung lockdown. So meaning magkakaroon po ng technical assessment using the doctors, healthcare, tawag natin mga specialists para tingnan nyo yung behavior ng curve. Kasi baka mamaya magkaroon tayo ng premature lifting. Yun ang inaano namin, yan ang medyo dangerous kasi sayang yung natin. Kasi pagka once nagkaroon tayo ng premature lifting, para mababaliwala yung lockdown natin ng 1 month.
Okay, sir, very quickly, meron ba tayong timeline na tinitingnan dito? When can we possibly hear kung meron na kayong decision on whether or not the ECQ will be extended or not?
Bukas, pag-uusapan po namin, titingnan po namin, I will present some options. Yun ang pinag-aano po namin, titingnan namin, we can present some options, and then later on, the technical working group can look at it. Looking also the implications on the economy, the livelihood and social life ng ating mga tao. Pero ang pinaka-primary conditions natin dito is really basically yung tinatawag nating health and human safety. So yun ang pinaka-primary consideration natin na how we could really negate the phenomenon ng tinatawag nating contamination rate, yung yung rate of death at saka yung tatawag na rate of recovery. So yun ang matitingnan din natin na I think the technical people are the only one that can translate that into political decision.
Alright, maraming salamat po. Retired General Carlito Galvez, the Chief Implementer of the National Action Plan against COVID-19.
Maraming
That's the
salamat
latest on the enhanced and expanded community quarantine in Luzon. For more updates, follow News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News.